Yo, what is up, guys? Today, I'm going to be giving you guys some anime recommendations. Now, these recommendations are shows that I think probably aren't that popular. I'm not going to be getting on here and be like, hey guys, have you seen Dragon Ball? Have you seen Attack on Titan? Hey, you ever seen this show? I don't think you ever heard of Jujutsu Kaisen? Demon Slayer, anybody? Like the most popular shows? Like, I'm not going to recommend it. Obviously, some shows, like, yeah, everybody's seen it. But but no, first recommendation is this little show. It's called Naruto. No, I'm just kidding. I'm getting serious now. First show is Saint Seiya, which, I mean, it was a pretty popular show. It's still pretty popular in some places, um, but it is kind of an older show. I think a lot of newer anime fans probably don't know about it. Uh, yeah, Saint Seiya. I mean, it's one of my favorite shows. It probably is my personal favorite, but just to give a little background for it, I guess I should have said this before I started the list. My personal preference in anime is I love manly, action packed, fun, tough, all those type of typical. I like meathead anime. I'm kind of a meathead. I like those types of things. So if that's not your cup of tea anime, then maybe these recommendations probably aren't going to be up your alley. I'll just be honest. But it's for me that's the coolest type of thing. But yes, Sensei is just that typical manly, never give up, fighting tooth and nail, hot blooded fights, just so awesome. Yeah, and so I would definitely recommend checking it out. It's about a group of knights. They protect the earth, peace and justice and love and all that stuff. It's so cool. But yeah, I think it's available on Crunchyroll the entire show now, well except for the Hades chapter, but that's neither here nor there. And also the manga is available on the Shonen Jump app. So if you got either of those, make sure to check it out. It's one of my personal favorites. Number two, Toriko. Now, real quick, the series Toriko is another one of my favorites. Although I will say the manga is a lot better than the anime. The anime isn't. It's a little toned down. I guess it's like a little more kid gloves on. I guess. And usually I don't really care that much about it, but like when you got to fight and the guy's arm gets ripped off, and it's like covered in smoke and you can't see anything, like that kind of does kill the excitement a little bit. But the manga is great, and so I definitely would recommend more the manga than the anime itself, actually. And again, both those are on Crunchyroll because the anime it never finishes because it really wasn't that popular. Um, because again, the anime is not as good as the actual comic itself, which is again also on the Shonen Jump app. What is it about? It's about gourmet hunters. They basically go out and find ridiculous foods and hunt, giant creatures and get in fights, and it's just a big adventure, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a typical shonen type of deal, but there's some really cool fights. Again, more so in the manga than it is in the show. The show actually ruined probably one of, if not the best fights in the series. At the end of the anime, so that just to be honest, just to be clear about that. But again, the manga I would highly recommend, and I still enjoy the anime myself. But that's because I'm already a fan of the series. I can enjoy it because I'm already a fan, if that makes any sense. Anyway, moving on. Again, very manly show, very cool, very tough. The first chapter, he like. No, I'm not gonna get into. No, I'm not gonna do like a breakdown chapter by chapter. But anyway, moving on. My favorite sports anime. Now it's not Haikyuu. Everyone knows about that. It's not Korko, no basket. Everyone knows about that. It's not Slam Dunk, even though it's old. A lot of people probably still know about it. To me, the best sports anime, Hinomaru Zumo, which is about sumo wrestling, and which I'm a big sumo wrestling fan. Period. Like outside of anime, so having an anime about it is super sick. Again, super manly, super tough. Just it's so odd, and it really got me more into, like, I was already like kind of into sumo, but it got me like more into sumo. Like you get into like the technical aspects of it, and again, it's just so cool. It's just tough, see it, seeing the fights themselves, and it's like so intense. But it's really cool. But it's like Toriko, the anime is not as good as the manga. But anyway, moving on. Final recommendation is a series that I'm actually still currently working on. Those first three, I've seen all of it or whatever. But, well, technically Saint Seiya Next Generation is still going on. Although it's not finished yet. But, or at least I haven't seen it finished. It doesn't matter. Skip that part. Is a something I'm still currently reading through. Haven't got fully caught up with the manga yet. And someone actually on this channel, in a comment months and months ago, maybe even a year ago, recommended it to me, and I started it a few months ago. It's called Kingdom, which this might actually be. I think this might actually be a very popular show, but it was just totally unknown to me until I got started. And dude, when I got started, it's like, dude, how have I not been watching this whole time? Like, this is freaking out. Like, I haven't seen the anime yet. Mostly because it looked like it's in like that crappy. Well, it's not. I personally don't like that like 3D animation that some animes use. You guys know what I'm talking about. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I wouldn't say I hate it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But anyway, so I haven't seen the anime yet. I'm actually thinking about starting it this week. But anyway, but I haven't. I'm about 600 plus chapters deep in the manga. It's still ongoing. It's, I think, on chapter 7. There's like over almost 800 chapters of it so far. But anyway, it's about like ancient Chinese warfare, which is like one of the most manly, as far as, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term, like a manly, like romantic in like a manly sense. The epitome of that is like ancient Chinese warfare. That's why it's called The Romance of Three Kingdoms. It's not because there's a bunch of love stories. But anyway, that's like mainly romanticism is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, and that's what that story, I mean, just military tactics and brutal fights and just constant not constant action, obviously, but a lot of action. And there's like, a lot of like really interesting plot. Like and these things, like, it's not just the fighting that makes it cool. There are interesting storylines in all these shows. But yeah, Kingdom's really cool, and it's probably like so popular. It might be like more popular than I give it credit for. Like, if I've never heard of it, I think it's not popular. I guess. I mean, I don't know. How can I know if I don't know? Like, I hadn't heard of it until someone recommended it to me a while back. But yeah, it's really cool. And again, once I started, I'm like, dude, how did I not start this show? It's a little bit like Vinland Saga, maybe. I mean, it's in that same category, like a historical genre. I mean, there's not like a lot of superpower. I mean, I guess there are some. There's maybe a tiny hint of that, but there's not like a superpowered. But it is still very cool. The action is very cool. Highly recommended. Yeah, I think that's on Crunchyroll. I think all these are on Crunchyroll if you're looking to watch any of these. Again, the manga for most of them was probably better. Except for Saint Seiya. Well, Saint Seiya is kind of the same. Well, there's filler, but you can always skip it. A little tangent here. I don't understand why people complain about filler. Like, you can just skip it. Like, oh, this filler episode stinks. Well, yeah, it's filler. It stinks. Well, actually, some filler in Saint Seiya is actually really good. Because I'm actually rewatching Saint Seiya right now. And I'm watching a filler arc. Like the Asgard arc, which is actually filler. I'm like, well, this is actually pretty sick. But anyway, I got sidetracked there for a second. Make sure, I'd highly recommend these shows. Check them out. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you made it all the way through the video, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Oh, before you go, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, please.